Hey guys, what's going on and welcome to another Fortnite video here on the channel. Now, as you can see on screen, OG Chapter 1 Season 3 has arrived. Brace for Impact. Bit odd, seeing as Brace for Impact is the motto for Season 4. But anyway, rocket ride with the guided missile launcher, check out the new OG pass, keep an eye on the Meteor and more. There is almost confirmation that the Meteor event might happen again, and the OG events will happen once more. But with the release of a new OG season comes some new OG quests. So let's go and have a little look at Season 3 greatest hits. So discover Lucky Landing. Brilliant that Lucky Landing is back. I know a lot of people love Lucky Landing. Search chest at Pleasant Park, Retail Row and Shifty Shafts. Summit 3 different mountains. Dance in 3 different forbidden locations. Eliminate 5 players with rare weapons of rare or better rarity. Damage players, deal damage to players, 1000 damage that is, with the hunting rifle or scoped weapons. Collect items from eliminated players. Thank the bus driver 5 times. Deal 300 damage to players beyond 20 meters using pistols. And gain 500 shields. Again, we will be getting the B-side quests in 4 weeks' time. This OG season is actually a little bit longer, lasting until the 8th of June, which should be coinciding with the release of Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 4, because Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3 is meant to only be a 5-week-long season, which means that they would both start on June 8th. So, the OG Pass, again, has 3 skins. They're pretty cool. The new Raven skin I think is definitely my favourite, Sir Raven. It just looks really cool, I must admit. But without further ado, let's head into OG and go to everybody's favourite, Lucky Landing. So even as we're flying in on the battle bus, you can very, very clearly see the presence of Lucky Landing. You can see those red rooftops and that bright pink security in the centre of Lucky Landing. It's nostalgic to see this place back, and I feel like I should go and land where I used to land, which was a little spire at the south side on the cliff top. I feel like it's only natural that that's where we land. So let's head on over there. Although we might fall a little bit short, but welcome back, Lucky Landing. Now, the loot pool coincides a lot more with Season 3. I mean, you can see it there. The first weapon we found is actually the crossbow. So, your loot pool is a little bit more what it should be like in Chapter 1 Season 3, which started featuring some cool additions to the game, I must say. So it might feel a lot more fun or a lot more fresh at this point. The tactical shotgun has its proper OG model back as well, which who could hate that? I swear I was in OG 0 build, but apparently we have materials, so that's interesting. Don't know if this is intentional, but I didn't think I was in build mode, so maybe this is an unintended bug, but obviously I'll double check when I leave this match, and we'll see if I did accidentally go into build mode or 0 build. But definitely seems like build mode at the moment from all these materials, I must say. Right, we've let this game run on a little bit more, and there's a reason why I'm not actually covering the full gameplay of this, and that reason is because there'll be a second part to this video. Because with the release of OG Chapter 1 Season 3, we also have the return of an OG LTM. And that LTM is the original 50v50. Now for those that don't remember or don't know, 50v50 was a bit like Team Rumble, where you have two teams who face off against each other, but respawning was not enabled, meaning that the two teams of 50 had to try and keep alive as well as killing each other. That game mode is back. It is in its full OG format, so by that we are talking about the old map, old loot pool, old style. It has returned, so we will cover that in the second half of this video. But I think for now we probably should try and kill this guy. But that's if we are successful. Doubt it. Yeah. Well, let's head on over to 50v50. So folks, the way that 50v50 works, as you can see, you have the line down the middle, you have the circle, just like you would normally in your Team Rumble matches, but in this one it will take a lot longer for the storm to close in on that circle, because the idea is that you don't want to be fighting straight away. You want to loot up first, get yourself ready for that final battle. So that's why you drop in, probably stick closer in on your side of the line, move with the storm. You go into that circle too quickly, and chances are you're signing your own death warrant. So take it slow, take it steady, get yourself some loot, make sure that you are comfortable with what you have, because if not, then you face the risk of being eliminated early, and then you just gotta watch your team and their team fight it out, which arguably might not be the most fun. Sticking with your team as well could also be advisable. That way, if you get into a spot of bother, you have your teammates there to back you up and make sure that you stay happy, healthy, and most importantly, alive. So let's skip forward a little bit until the storm has started closing in. So it seems like people have forgotten about like the secret chest areas and places like shifty shafts and things like that. But now the fighting has properly begun. It is well ongoing. One thing that is slightly different to the OG 50v50, and this is the only thing that is different to the proper OG, is that sound you hear right now, the reboot van. Obviously reboot vans weren't added to the game until, I believe, Season 7. The fact that they have been added to 50v50 is mildly surprising. Obviously, it might add to the game, because it means that if friends and teammates are spread out, they could get reboot cards and get their teammates back up, which benefits the overall big team of 50 in the long run. So it might be interesting to see how much of a benefit it actually brings, if any. But obviously, it does add a little extra layer of complexity to the overall game mode. So you can see over the other side of the river there are a lot of people on that team running around left, right and centre. Obviously there will be a lot of our team also running around left, right and centre, and the hope is that their team get killed off quicker than your team. So whether or not that involves you taking a little bit of a step back, hiding a little bit more away, and then swooping in when the numbers start dwindling to get a few more kills, is a good question. But I am very curious as to what this is. I'm seeing random sound effects. I have no idea what they are, because they're appearing on the minimap. These Oh, the guided missile. Yeah, because the guided missile launcher is back, so people are using guided missiles on each other, which is interesting. Very interesting, actually, as a matter of fact. Right, let's help our teammates out, maybe even in a healer role as well. You could be there as the one making sure that your teammates get revived, even if they're not specifically your squad mates. They're on your team of 50. Every single person you have living is one person that can help bring the fight to the enemy. It's a very tactical game mode. It's much more tactical than the ideas of Team Rumble, let's say, as an example. And as the numbers start dwindling, a winner might become a little bit more clear, but it will probably take time for that winner to become clear. It's not clear right now, even though it might seem like our team has the upper hand. 35 versus 28 is arguably nowhere near clear-cut enough to state who will actually win this. You also notice that now there isn't another storm circle. There is just a timer. That timer is until the storm starts moving again. When it does, it will just close in on the centre. It won't stop. And at that point, it really is just a battle of attrition. Last man standing wins the game for their team. So even traps and things like that can be a good use that you can try and catch people out with. The Reboot Van edition is very interesting, I must say. It does change the game somewhat. But the traps, they are very, very useful. In fact, as you just saw, I got a couple of people who hit my traps after I died. Traps will be very beneficial to the team. Anything that you guys can use to get their numbers thin the herd. Even if you're dead, you can still benefit the team from traps. So why not use them? Miniguns, explosives, all of the above can help shred your build. It's a case of anything that you can use to kill their numbers. So let's skip forward a little bit more. So by this point, if you look underneath the minimap in the top right corner, you can see it's becoming a lot more clear cut as to who is going to win. The numbers are currently 26 versus 7. It's fairly obvious my team is going to win. At this point, there's very little that so few people can actually do to fight back. And that is what you generally find with 50v50, is they'll eventually get a point where one team has an upper hand of like winning 2-1 or 3-1 in numbers, and by that point it becomes a lot more reasonable to say that team has won, because the other team, they might have some good players at the end, but are those players good enough to kill 20 people by themselves when all those 20 people are shooting them at the same time? Probably not. So all in all, that was a look at Fortnite OG Chapter 1 Season 3 and the return of OG 50v50. In fact, you'll notice we're about to get the beautiful message of a victory royale. So, with all that in mind, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it informative, enjoyable and fun to watch as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. But enjoy OG Season 3.